ladies and gentlemen of the press. This is a press conference organized by concerned Northerners. The nation woke up on the 28th of March to the horrifying news of a gruesome massacre in which about 16 people from northern part of the country were massacred in a very savagery manner that is reminiscent to the barbarism of the old Roman Empire. We have noted that since the event, leaders have issued the usual condemnation, and security agencies have announced the commencement of investigations, and community leaders have risen up to speak on the atrocity. But even as this was happening, some reckless parochial local champions have continued to insult the North and deride its people, fabricating lies and spreading mischief on the incidents. This is a very familiar scene in the last 2 decades. We are here to tell Nigerians that this incident is one too many and will no longer be tolerated. We are speaking after due consultations with the Northern Elders Forum and the Arewa Consultative Forum and some Northern professionals, and precisely because we have restrained our youth from reacting and retaliating. For the records, this is not the first time that Northerners have been targeted and killed under several guises and excuses. We recall the event of March 2016, where at the Mile 12 crisis, where Northerners were killed. In the same 2016, another massacre of innocent Hausa traders and settlers in Port Harcourt were killed. In December 2019, in Akure Market, is the Akure Market killing, where Northerners were killed. In Oyo State, at the Iganga killings in June 2021, where Northerners were killed and their properties were destroyed. In April 2021, in Imo State, dozens of Northern traders and cattle herders were slaughtered in cold blood by some armed bandits. In all of these incidences, the North restrained itself, even as they are far more larger in population than Southerners. In all these incidences, the North restrained itself, even as they are far more larger populations of these Southerners enjoying in the North. They are growing their businesses, making money off Northerners, all without any form of harassment. The North is not stupid. We can no longer allow a situation where our people are hunted down like game, while the same tribes are welcomed in the North, enjoying hospitality and making money off Northerners. This government and the ones it succeeded have also shown that they neither have the will or the capacity to deal with the threats to human life in Nigeria. The country has become a killing zone as they sit there and supervise the sharing of national resources meant to provide for the welfare and security of our citizens. As a result, citizens daily face precarious hazards as they work hard just to eke a living. In other words, our governments are in the habit of ignoring their constitutional duties and taking care of themselves and their fantasies, while citizens who voted for them in the first place rot away in penury and anguish as if they have no conscience at all. This is, to say the least, is a political blasphemy, and it has its consequences. As certain as death, it will come when it will come. We therefore need to remind this government that in the hierarchy of human needs, human life comes first. They have sworn to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which categorically and explicitly stated that the purpose of governance is the welfare and security of its citizens. We need to remind this government that they are here basking in power courtesy of the votes from the North. We need to remind this government and its security agencies that their excuses for their failure to secure this country has long been unattainable, and citizens will not continue to take these excuses kindly. Finally, these killings of Northerners and the deriding of the North have aggravated and amplified the national question. If Northerners are still citizens of the Nigerian state, then they must be accorded the rights and privileges of citizens in any part of the Nigerian Federation. If, however, the Nigerian state is not willing or ready to accord Northerners their rights and privileges as citizens, then Northerners will have no option, will have no obligation towards the Nigerian state. The Nigerian state, like any modern state, is sustained by the social contract, as John Locke's theory of social contract says, and I quote, that the obligation to obey civil government under the social contract was conditional upon the protection of the natural rights of each person, unquote. So if the state should fail, we have no obligation to obey or even continue the union. The North has continued to make sacrifices to keep the union. It looks like it is time to throw in the towel. While we still appeal to our youth for restraint, this time we shall keep our fingers crossed and mount a sentinel to monitor the investigation promised and the prosecution of those arrested and the payment of the compensation to the families of those who lost their lives, because the people they elected failed to live up to the oath of office to the tenets of the Constitution. Thank you. Hausa murya akan cewar wannan abubuwan da ake wa arewa